Good evening. Good evening. Can I have your attention, please? Welcome. That was the best. You guys were so quiet. That's because there's a priest in the house. I know it. And a rabbi, I believe. There we go. We're in serious trouble. Well, welcome to this very momentous evening for the Abington Police Department and for a guy we call Pat. Come on up, Commissioner Spiegelman. Yes, by all means. We wouldn't start this without you. Indeed, indeed. All right, then. Before I introduce Pat Molloy, I would like to share a few comments from myself and the command staff of the Abington Police Department. On behalf of the command of the Abington Police Department, we want you to know that we wholeheartedly support the decision you have made to appoint Patrick Molloy as Chief of Police. Chief Molloy is a man of impeccable honor and commitment. Chief Bill Kelly and Chief John Livingood have set all of us up for success and created a culture of service to the community and integrity above all else. We are confident that Pat will continue this strong tradition and culture, and we believe he is more than qualified to tackle the obstacles and challenges we will face. Now, are you ready? Everyone sit down for this long bio of Patrick Molloy. Chief Molloy began his career with the Abington Township Police Department in 1994, where he first served for 6 years as a patrol officer before being promoted to the rank of sergeant in 2000. During his time in the patrol division, he supervised the DARE program, the field training program, and served as the department's honor guard and SWAT team. In 2010, he was assigned to the Community Policing Division, where he became commander of the unit and where he was then promoted to the rank of lieutenant. In this position, Chief Molloy managed many of the programs designed to foster a better relationship with the community, with special attention given to youth education and mentoring programs. In addition, he created the motto for the division, Community First, a philosophy that has transpired throughout the department. In 2013, when he was the commander of the Community Policing Division, the Abington Township Police Department received the prestigious Community Policing Award given by the International Association of Chiefs of Police. Chief Molloy served on the board of the Helping Hand Foundation and is chair of the Abington Community Task Force. He is also currently a board member of the Southeast Chiefs Association. In 2015, Chief Molloy was appointed commander of the SWAT team and was promoted to the position of Patrol Division Commander as Deputy Chief. He was also responsible in this role for all of the patrol operations, SWAT, K-9 unit, and training. Also, Pat signed a historic document during this time, along with the president of the Willow Grove NAACP and Chiefs Kelly and Livingood, ensuring that the lines of communication and cooperation are open and effective and will continue to be. Chief Molloy graduated from the FBI National Academy's 250th session and the West Point Command and Leadership Program. He is a graduate of the FBI's Law Enforcement Executive Development Program. Pat has a BA in Political Science and a Master's in Law Enforcement Management, Homeland Security, both from St. Joseph's University. Chief Molloy also serves as an adjunct professor for criminal justice at Penn State, Abington. He has been married for 26 years to his high school sweetheart and very, very, very understanding wife, Caroline. He has 2 sons that he bursts with pride over. That would be Nick, and Eddie. In addition to his 2 sons, he will soon have a daughter, as Nick and Hannah are getting married in June this year. May I introduce, please, Chief Patrick Molloy. Right then, simmer down now. We've got more clapping to come. Before you really clap, he has to be sworn in by Abington's own to whom we are very proud as well, the Honorable Risa Furman. Thanks, Eddie.
So let me just say, let me say before I swear you in, today in Southeast Pennsylvania is a day we're celebrating the hometown team. We're celebrating our Eagles for bringing home the Lombardi Trophy and for their passion, for their commitment, for their dedication, and that's what we honor. And so here in Abington tonight, we again are celebrating the hometown team in the presence of our incredible former chiefs, Chief Kelly, Chief Livingood. So you can all hear me. We are celebrating someone who has devoted himself to this community, who has made community first, who has been passionate and committed and so strong and steadfast in his desire to do what is best for our community here. So it is no surprise to me that you earned the support of our community. It is no surprise to me that you earned the exemplary and incredible support of the command staff and the men and women of this department, and it is no surprise to me that you earned the support of our illustrious Board of Commissioners, and I am honored to be able to swear you in. Are you ready to take the oath?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much.
Now, put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. And repeat after me. I, Patrick Molloy,
I, Patrick Molloy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution and the laws
the Constitution and the laws
of the United States,
of the United States,
of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Township of Abington,
and the Township of Abington,
that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
with fidelity
with fidelity
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as Chief of Police for Abington Township,
as Chief of Police for Abington Township,
and I will obey the rules and regulations,
and I will obey the rules and regulations,
the policies and procedures
policies and procedures
governing all sworn members of the Abington Township Police Department.
governing all sworn members of the Abington Township Police Department.
Congratulations, Chief.
Trying to do this without my glasses. I did prepare a few brief comments, so forgive me. I will turn around. 2 minutes? Okay, Lieutenant Hockman. But, ladies and gentlemen, I am truly honored to stand here before you this evening as your new Chief of Police. I have this overwhelming feeling of gratitude, knowing that God has truly blessed me with such a loving and supportive group of family, friends, and professional colleagues. None of this would be possible without them. Before I even begin to mention by name all of these individuals, and I'm going to try to do that, I can't help but think about my dad, Edward Kevin Molloy, who passed away 2 years ago. Dad, I know that you are here with me this evening, smiling down with beaming pride, just as you were Sunday when you intervened for the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl. The one thing, my father was a man of faith, and he gave that gift to me and my 9 brothers and sisters who are filling this room here. And I think that gift of faith led me to the vocation of policing and public service. I also want to recognize my mom. Over here, Mom, I love you. And thank my mom, my mother and father-in-law who are here, my brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, in-laws, and all my other family members here. Thank you all for being here with me on this special night. I know some traveled quite a distance. I want to thank our township manager, Rich Manfredi, president of the board, Wayne Luker, who served for 25 years as a commissioner, and I don't think there's a better gentleman that is committed to service and a friend than Wayne Luker. You sort of exemplify what Abington commissioners are all about. And I want to thank all the commissioners during very complex budgetary cycles. Somehow you have managed to fund the personnel, resources, and training of this police department to keep this community and all of these officers behind me safe. So we thank you on behalf of all the officers from the bottom of my heart for that. Doesn't happen everywhere, as we know. I'd also like to thank the Honorable Risa Furman. Everybody knows Risa, but she was one of Abington's finest and a longtime district attorney for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to be with me tonight and to swear me in. So thank you, Risa. There are so many people in the department that I'd like to thank, but I want to start with 1994 when I had a full head of hair and my field training officer, Al Freed, who's now our traffic safety manager, one of the finest field training officers that taught me the ropes of this business. And Al, wherever you are, I want to let you know that I use those lessons still today. So thank you so much for your commitment to this department. I also want to thank two icons in the business, Chief Bill Kelly, my predecessors, John Livingood, for their combined 78 years of service. I am truly grateful, Chiefs, for your leadership, your mentorship, but above all, your friendship. No two finer men in the world. And I will do my best to fill your shoes and sustain this great culture of policing that I inherited. I'd also like to thank my senior command staff, Deputy Chief Kelly Warner, and longtime Lieutenant Earl Sauerman, who I rely on for words of wisdom and so much more. I'd like to thank our newest lieutenants, Lieutenant Porter, Fink, Quinn, and our other commanders that are going to join the command staff, Sergeants McGee and Tom Scott. And a special thanks to some key staff who helped me over the last several years working behind the scenes in the civilian ranks of Kathleen Perpolowski and Melissa Gargan. Outside the organization, a special thanks goes to the president of the Willow Grove NAACP, Valerie Ward. To know her is to love her. Valerie is away on a church function and unfortunately could not be here with us tonight. But I want to thank, and some of them are in the room, but all of the volunteers from our Police Athletic League, our Citizens and Police Together, our Youth Aid Panel. It really makes Abington truly unique, this army of volunteers where so many of these programs would not be possible if we had to fund them through tax dollars. So thank you so much for community policing and all the volunteers back there. Also, I have colleagues here, and I want to thank Bill Daly, the president of the Southeast Chiefs, the members of the Montgomery County Chiefs of Police, and other special guests from the clergy. I have Father Sean Bransfield, Rabbi Larry Cernovitz, and Monsignor McCoy. Since I do have the clergy in the room, I would ask you guys to please remember me in your prayers, but most of all, please keep the safety of all of our police officers in your prayers. Last but not least, I'd like to thank my wife, Carolyn, who has been with me for the last 33 years. Through 17 years of shift work, being on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She sacrificed so much to support me and my boys. I love you so much, and I'll be eternally grateful. I would not be here if it weren't for you. I also want to thank Hannah. I always wanted a daughter, but welcome you to the family. In closing, I'd like to assure each and every one of you here tonight that I am extremely passionate about this profession, about serving this community. I am fully committed to the men and women who put the uniform on every day and are willing to sacrifice their safety and sometimes their lives for you. As a department, we will remain laser focused on our core values, and we can rattle them off: professionalism, respect, integrity, dedication, and esprit de corps, and the motto of community first. We will continue to use these values as guiding principles, not only to protect and serve our citizens, but to improve the quality of life for all of our residents. These principles will guide our actions, our decisions, and it will be evident in how we conduct our business, keeping our focus on honor, integrity, and service to others. I am proud of the compassion that our Abington police officers show to those suffering from this curse of addiction, the mental illness, domestic violence, and so many other traumatic events. As chief, I promise you this: we will never lose focus of why we exist as an organization. To quote Martin Luther King, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are we doing for others? While we are committed to serving others, we are still living in an increasingly violent world in which the men and women in blue are called on to sacrifice their safety and sometimes their lives to maintain peace and order. It is this fact that makes policing one of the most noble of professions, knowing that we are peacemakers. And this prescription for peace that I want to leave you with, and you've heard me say it before, as I quote my favorite saint, Mother Teresa, so simply and eloquently she said, "If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other." So as we leave tonight, let's do our part to help us be peacemakers and to work hard in your home and in your community to simply belong to each other. I love all of you. God bless you. And this was really over the top, overwhelming. I didn't need all those applause and standing up, but I really appreciate that. So.
It's terribly tough, I'm sure. Thanks, Pat. Well done. Listen, I just want to remind the sworn and other members of the Abington Police family that tonight, at the beginning of tonight's board meeting, we are recognizing retired Chief now, John Livingood, if you can remain. Thank you. And if you would, if I can say this nicely, can you all get out? Because we have a meeting. Thank you. You want me to say that? Also, if you didn't get notice, Pat Molloy is hosting a little celebration at the North Penn VFW on Jenkintown Road, so make sure you go there.